Good morning, student. Myself Bina Tripathi. Welcome to your online class. Friends, today I am going to explain you in history chapter 2, sources of history. See, students, you know that history divided in three parts, which are the ancient history, medieval history, and modern history. So, see, students, this year you are going to learn about that ancient history. So, let us learn about that. Some points are given here. 2.1 material source, 2.2 written source, 2.3 oral source, 2.4 Sources of Ancient Indian History, and 2.5 Precaution to be taken while writing history. Say, students, all these points we will discuss in this chapter. Try this. See, students, that is totally cancel. I have marked with pencil, no need to read this. A number of objects used by our ancestors still exist. Some inscriptions from the past have been recovered. Sources like this help us to understand our history. Say, students. So, number of objects used by our ancestor means our forefathers still exist, and some inscriptions from the past have been recovered. And from all these sources, it will help us to understand our history. United students, history means what? History is a coherent account of significant events of the past. Means whatever knowledge we are getting from the past, we can say the history. So history can also be learned through customs and traditions, folk art, folk literature, as well as a historical documents. So this way, students, history can also be learned through customs, traditions, folk art, literatures, as well as historical documents. And all these are known as sources of history. And say, students, these are of three types. How many types are there, students? Source of history, three types are there. Which are they? That is material sources, written source, and oral source. Suppose question will come in your exam period. How many types of sources are there? There will be there. There are three types of sources are there. That is material source, written source, and oral source. See, students, can you tell? Totally cancel. I have marked with pencil. No need to read this. Now next one is 2.1. Material sources. What are material sources are there? See, students, man uses a variety of things in his day-to-day life. So we are using so many things in our day-to-day life. They are known as artifacts. Artifacts means what, students? An artifact is an ornament, tool, or other objects that is made by a human being. We can say the artifacts. Artifacts used by humans in the past provide us valuable information about life in the ancient times. And say, students, so these artifacts used by humans in the past, and whatever things are used by the past, it provides us valuable information about life in the ancient time, how their lives are there. We can decide the period of ancient artifacts like earthen pots by studying the shape, color, and designs on ancient potsherds. And see, student, how we come to know about that? That means how we can decide the period of ancient artifacts. That for example, with the help of earthen pots, and also we can by studying the shape, color, and design of an ancient potsherds. The ornaments and other artifacts throw light on social interactions, and on that time the ornaments and other artifacts they can throw the light on social interaction. We get information about the diet of the peoples from the remains of food grains, seeds, and bones of animals found in excavation. And say, students, also we can get information about diet of the peoples, what they're eating on that time, and about the food grains, seeds, and bones of animals. With the help of bones of animals, I mean, during when digging up, excavation means what, students? Digging up. So we come to know about that on that time, how the what the people are eating, what are their diets are there. Also, we find the remains of houses and buildings built in different historical periods, and also we learn about that how they are making the houses, how they build the houses. We also find ancient coins and seals. All this give us information about human activities in the past. And see, student, also we can get found that ancient coins and seals, and from all these things it will give the information about human activities in the past. All such artifacts, articles, monuments, or their ruins are called material sources of history. And see, so all these artifacts, articles, monuments, or their ruins, or are called the material source of history. Example, students, material source. What are material sources? Are the example fort, example buildings, example cave sculpture, example coin, inscriptions. So all these are the examples of the material sources. See, students, do you know totally cancel? I have marked with pencil. No need to read this. See, students, coin picture that shown that coin, that see, that also very good examples of the material sources. Okay. Pot sets. See, students, pot sets means what? A fragment of broken pottery, especially one found in an archaeological excavation. That is during digging up on that time, during the excavations. Ornaments. See the ornaments, earthen pots. So all these are the examples of the material source. Do you know? Written source of history includes inscriptions carved on temple walls, walls of rock-cut caves and rocks, inscriptions on copper plates, pots, bricks, and on writing sheets made from palm leaves and brick bark, etc. So see, students, the pictures are there, copper plates, see what are the inscriptions are there. All these are the written sources are there. That means which we are getting the knowledge written way. That means so many literature, so many books, so many manuscripts on that time written. Manuscript means all which books are written by the hand. So whatever information we are getting with the help of the written way, we can say that it is examples of the written sources. See, on that time, written source of history includes inscription carved on temple walls. So which are temples are the one that also inscription are carved, and walls of rock-cut caves and rocks, inscription on copper plates, pots, bricks, and on writing sheets made from palm leaves and brick bars. So it is used that. See the examples of copper plate and inscriptions on a rock. Can you see that? So that is very good examples of the written source of history. 2.2 Written source. See, students, a Stone Age people have recorded many events and expressed their emotions in painting on rocks. It was only after thousands of years that man learned the art of writing. See, students, we have very long history since, that means Stone Age. So you all know that the Stone Age people, they have recorded many events and they express their emotions, their feelings in painting on rocks. I mean, whatever they express emotions are there, they are writing, that is on the they painting on the rocks. And it was only after thousands of years that man learned the art of writing. And this way, they learn the art of writing, how to write. In the beginning, humans used symbols, and see the students. In the beginning, what they using symbols and signs to record their thoughts and ideas. However, it took thousands of years for a script to develop from this. And see, student, in beginning, what they're doing, what the people are doing, that humans are using their symbols and sign to record their thoughts and ideas. And it took thousands of years. How many years? Thousands of years for a script to develop from this. In the beginning, man wrote on potsherds, unbaked brick using pointed objects. So see, in the beginning, what they are doing, how they are, where they are writing. So man wrote on potsherds and unbaked brick using pointed object. He also used bhuja trees bark to write on. As his experience and knowledge increased, he began to write in different way, and that means how when that means their experience and knowledge increase, and he began to write in different way. He began to record the events that took place around him. Accounts of the proceeding of royal court were also written systematically. Many rulers had their orders, judicial decisions, donations, etc. inscribed on stone or copper plates. And see, students, that means accounts of the proceeding of royal courts, means king, were also written systematically, proper way. And on that time, many rulers, king, had their orders, whatever they are giving the orders, judicial decisions, donation, etc. They are inscribed on stone or copper plates. Over a period of time, many forms of literature developed. And afterwards, students, so many books are written by hand. That means many forms of literature are developed, and they included books on religious and social subjects, play, drama, poetry, travel adjustment, who are coming, people are coming outsider, they're traveling and they're coming from different place, and scientific work. All this literature help us to understand the history of the various historical periods, and these sources are known as the written source of history. That means, students, whatever things we are getting in written form, because it is examples of the written source of history. And on that time, that means they included books on religious and social subjects. That means so many books are developed, literature, many forms of literature are developed on that time. And the subjects are play, poetry, travelers and scientific works, and all this literature, it helps us to understand the history of the various historical periods. And these sources are known as the written source of history. And see, students, this source we can say that is a written source of history. Do you know? See that Bhujapatras means writing sheets made from the bark of the beech tree. Bhuja is the Sanskrit name of the beech tree, and beech trees are found where, students? Kashmir. See the picture shown here, beech Bhuja trees, and it is written form, we can say the Bhujapatra. And see, student, Bhujapatra means writing sheet made from the bark of a beech tree, and Bhuja is the Sanskrit name of the beech tree. Understood? And where it is found, students? That means beech trees are found in Kashmir. Okay. Point 3, oral sources. See, students, we understand various aspects of folk life through folk literature traditionally passed on from generation to generation. See, students, ovis, folk song, folk tales, and similar literature is passed on from generation to generation by word of mouth. And this literature is not in the written form. See, students, which are orally, songs, folk tales, folk song, we are listen the orally, yes. So it is not in the written form. Its author are unknown. We don't know their authors, and these types of literature preserved by oral traditions forms the oral source of history. So see, students, examples of oral source, examples: ovis, folk songs, povadas, folk tales, legends. So such types of sources, folk literatures, that means folk tales, and similar literature is passed on from generation to generation by word of mouth. So, say, student, examples are there: ovis, folk song, yes, folk tales. We can also say that povadas, legends, all are examples of the oral source of history, which are orally, which are not in the written form. That means this literature is not in the written form. Its author are unknown, and this type of literature, students, preserved by oral traditions forms the oral source of history. That means whatever thing we are listening, whatever things we are listen, it is not in the written form because of the oral source of history. See that, do you know? See, students, sources of ancient Indian history divided in 3 parts. Which are they? First one is material sources, second one written source, and third one is oral source. See, students, again, material source 2 types. First one is artifacts, and second one is structural remains. In artifacts, rock painting, pottery, see the terracotta objects, can you see that? Beads, ornaments, sculptures, metals objects, coin, weapons. So all these are the come in the artifacts. And structural remains, caves, houses, stupas, rock cut caves, temples, church, mosques, pillar. So this way, students, material sources are divided in 2 types. One is artifacts, second one is structural remains. Written sources, see that first point, inscriptions on Harappan seals. So what we can see in the Harappan seals, inscriptions, Vedic literature, Mesopotamia clay tablets, manuscripts copies of Rama, Mahabharata and Ramayana, means which are manuscript means what students? The books which are written by hand, we can say the manuscripts. So manuscripts copies of Ramayana and Mahabharata. Jain and Buddhist literature, writing of Greek historian, travelers, and travelers by Chinese travel, who are Chinese travelers are there. They also written the books that also come in the written source. Books on grammar, Puranas and inscription, all are the come in the written source, which we are getting the information written way, we can say the written sources. And next one is oral source. The Vedic, Buddhist and Jain literature of ancient India was preserved by oral tradition. It is now available in the written form. See students, the Vedic, Buddhist and Jain literature of ancient India was preserved by oral tradition, but now it is now available in written form also. Even so, the oral tradition is still alive. When oral compositions are used for history writing, they are included in the oral sources. See students, when oral composition is used for writing history, we can say they are included in the oral sources. And this way students, source of ancient Indian history divided in three parts: material sources, written source and oral sources. 2.4 Sources of ancient Indian history. The ancient period of Indian history extends from the Stone Age to the 8th century CE. See students, that means the ancient period of Indian history extends from the Stone Age to the 8th century CE. That means we have very long history. Since Stone Age, we learn about the Stone Age period of Indian history through archaeological excavation. And see students, how we learn about that? That means we learn about the Stone Age period of Indian history through archaeological excavation. Excavation means what? Digging up. And since scripts had not developed at that time, no written source are available. And since on that time scripts are not there, not developed, and we also not get any written information on that time. However, information about the ancient period from 1500 BCE onwards can be derived from the Vedic literature. And say student, that means information about the ancient period from 1500 BCE onwards can be derived from Vedic literature. In the beginning, the Vedas were not in the written form. And see students, in beginning, the Vedas are not in the written form. The ancient Indians had developed the technique of memorizing and reciting them. And over the ancient period in history, that with the ancient Indians, they had developed the technique of memorizing and reciting them. The Vedas were written down later on, and afterwards Vedas are written on afterwards. The Vedas and the post-Vedic literature form an important source of ancient Indian history. It includes the Brahmanas, the Upanishads, the epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata, the Jain and Buddhist literature, play, poem, stone and pillar inscriptions, travelers and foreign traveler, etc. So see students, that means we can say that the Vedas and the post-Vedic literature form an important source of ancient Indian history, and it includes the that means Brahmanas, the Upanishads, the two epics are there. Which are they? That is Ramayana and Mahabharata, the Jain and Buddhist literature, play, poem, stone and pillar inscriptions, travelers and foreign travel, etc., where we also learn about ancient Indian history through material source like archaeological remains, ancient monuments and coin found in excavation. So see students, from where we are getting the knowledge, we also learn about ancient Indian history through material sources, and like archaeological remains, ancient monuments and coins found in excavation. 5. Precaution to be taken while writing history. See student, it is very important, we have to take precaution while writing a history. It means when we are writing the history, precaution should be taken. It is necessary to take precaution while using this source to write history. A written documents cannot be said to be authentic, means true. Authentic means what students? True, real, just because it is old. It needs to be examined critically as to who wrote it, why and when it was written. See students, that means a written documents cannot be said to be authentic, real, true. Just why? Because it is very old. And what is important? So we have to examine that. So we have to study on that proper way, whether it is true or not. And it needs to be examined critically as who have wrote that, why they written that, and when it was written that. Either that means we think about that on that time the king was not precise to that author, or or he has written that any pressure. That also very important. So we have to examine that critically proper way. The conclusion drawn on the basis of various genuine documents have to be cross-checked and corroborated with one another. And see students, so we have to think about that whether on that time who are the authors, are they are making a partiality or not, whether they are writing proper way, or they have any, that means any pressure of the king. That also very important. Yes. So the conclusion drawn on the basis of various genuine means real documents, whether the documents are real or not, have to be cross-checked is very important. And corroborated means verify, confirm that with one another. Such a critical analysis is very important in the writing of history. So all these things are very important when you are writing the history. You have to study on that proper way, and this way not to make any partiality writing on that. That means who are the authors are, they will think about that whether they make any impartiality or not. So that also very important. That's why we have to study that carefully, and then we have to write the history. So that is also very important. So that's why students, precaution to be taken while writing history. Okay. Exercise question number 1, answer in one sentence. Question number 2, classify the following source as material, written and oral source. See students, all these are the assignment I am giving to you as your homework. You have to write this in your notebook and read this lesson twice, 2 times properly. I hope that you understood this lesson. Thank you.